Walk into Comic-Con and you're likely to run into Princess Leia, Spider-Man, or Mario. Not the characters themselves, of course, but the cosplayers who love them and painstakingly create costumes to pay tribute to them. But for many, cosplaying is much more than dress up. It's an outlet for connections and self-expression. Miles Montgomery was a shy middle schooler when he caught the cosplaying bug.
I started going to Comic-Con when I was like 11 or 12 years old, and that was the first time that I had seen people like dressing up with comic book characters and fantasy characters, and I was like, oh, normal people can just do this?
Now, 20 years later, he comes to Comic-Con every year, lately as a Mad Max character.
It was interesting because you never think that anybody is quite as nerdy as you are, and then you meet other people that are literally like dressing up as characters from these anime, from these video games, and just meeting friends that I never would have otherwise.
The Walking Dead universe is worldwide.
There's a lot of people that choose dressing up, cosplaying as kind of their art form and their way to show their creativity, but also their appreciation for the character and the actors that portray them.
Micah Ella uses cosplay to express her love for Carol, a character on the hit show The Walking Dead.
I was part of a handful of folks, both men and women, who were hardcore Carol cosplayers, to the point where, we had our own little Facebook group. I did meet a lot of people that I don't think would be, in my life or that I would even know of if it had not been for cosplay community.
In the show, Carol survives an abusive ex-husband and grows into a confident and capable leader. On the surface, Carol and Micah have little in common. Carol being an older white lady and Micah as a young Filipina. But Micah says she admires the character of Carol, and she'll never forget meeting the actress that plays her.
Oh, it's awesome. I think she is one of those actresses that are more reserved. And so there are some celebrities who at first didn't get the whole why is everyone dressing up as me kind of thing. But over the years, because I've met her so many times, she's gotten used to it and has warmed up to us. The fact that there's so many of us that love and adore her.
It was also through cosplay that Micah met her close friend Nina.
She comes to Comic-Con usually every year and is usually the person that I roam around with, and because we have the mutual love for The Walking Dead, we tend to kind of prioritize that.
Jimmy Sherfy found an acceptance in the cosplay community that he hadn't experienced before.
I would meet a lot of people on social media without even meeting them in person, or if I did meet them, it was just a quick picture, and eventually I would see them at conventions, and we would connect, and either they were cosplayers or they were nerdy like me.
Gloria, you did it! I'm saved! Thank you so much!
Jimmy says cosplay gave him the courage to do drag.
I got asked by Chad Michaels, who's a famous Cher performer here in San Diego from Drag Race or Urban Moe's, and he wanted me to be part of a Disney show, and I was like, oh, me? What am I gonna do?
Drag shows and cosplay competitions are a lot alike. Both involve skits and lip syncing, but for Jimmy, it goes deeper than that.
The cosplay community is kind of more accepting, I would say, than about different body types, different ethnicities, different sexualities in general, and obviously the LGBT community, that's what it's all about. So I just feel like there's a good overlap there with the communities, and I've kind of found my little place in there.
Jimmy is now able to make a living as a cosplayer and a drag queen. While Comic-Con will be one of the many conventions that he attends this year for work, it's also a family reunion. Katerina Portela, KPBS News.